Well, I got to check out a very neat old Bowie or Bowie knife, so of course I'm going to show it to you. This was made by noted knife maker Hugh McConnell. He was active in the mid-19th century, and one knife collecting price guide book says that his knives are highly desirable, and he's known for his proficiency with California-style knives, which makes sense considering where he lived. So let's take a look. It's a beautiful piece of work. It's 12 inches overall, 8-inch blade with a 4-inch clipped point. And they said that this was a custom job by McConnell, so we're looking at a one-of-a-kind on top of that. And he definitely put some effort into the overall look. I think this thing sold for plenty when it first left his shop. The handle is, I would classify it as one of the classic coffin-shaped Bowie knife handles, as they say, even though it has a little bit of variation. Those scales are polished stag, so really beautiful. This is silver at the throat of the sheath, which matches the silver used at the tip. So again, this is not a poor man's weapon. It's got the belt clip, obviously, eminently practical. There's the tip that we talked about. The whole thing is in pretty good shape considering how old this is. It was probably a prized possession, I would say. Now notice the lines at the top and bottom of the handle. That's kind of a visual motif that I think you're going to see carried through when we get to the blade, which we will do now. This I've always seen referred to as a Spanish notch in terms of blade making, but regardless, it's kind of a fancy one, because notice to the left it had serrations. Those serrations then match the ones that we're looking at on the right over here, which is on the spine on the back of the blade. You can see what I mean now on the image. So again, a lot of thought behind the look of it. There's the maker's mark, so it's an H and an M superimposed. Pretty neat, and of course that's how we know who made it. Also a great look at the surface of the blade. You can see how the grooves there on the handle that go across left to right kind of add to this grooved look that the blade has throughout. Speaking of that, let's look at the back here, and those look great from that direction. These I assumed were to rest your thumb on, provide some extra friction, because you don't want your hand slipping in the middle of a knife fight, and that is in fact what they're there for. Definitely a great example, a historic piece. I'm glad I got to see it. I did not get to acquire it. I was hoping I would. But this is the next best thing. Thanks.